Greetings, humans. Spinning Madness here with the next episode of the Long Dark Interloper. Thanks for joining me. Well, we're 29%. We've got a little bit of food, but we do have cabin fever. We've got 16 hours and we can't sleep indoors. Actually, I think we're going to have to do what we did last time. Take advantage of this right here, then make it back to the camp office and spend the night in the camp office. It's only 2 minutes. Really? Shooting guide. Yep. Alright. Sleep for 2 hours. Now we're going to try to make it back to the camp office and just hang out all night. 3 hours left because it's going to get too cold. Oh man, this is bad. There's a wolf like right outside. Back. Well, this is gonna buy us some more time. There's only 2 down arrows, so I think we need to explore a little bit. I do fear that's just about it for reeds around this area. Mm. 3 hours. I mean, we can make it to the dam in 3 hours, I think. As long as the weather holds up. There's also a high chance of wolves. Starting to get real cold. Alright, I guess we could take a chance and look up here for prepper cache. Never found this one before. Don't even know exactly where it would be. Seen it marked on the map, but I've never actually seen it in game or seen anybody else do it. Just always thought it might be like on one of these cliffs. But again, not seeing anything.
I need something to eat.
guess we kind of can poke around this big rock. What we have to do is we have to find gut. And without a knife, everything's been too frozen for us to actually get some gut. So, I don't know. I don't know. So, we're hoping that there is a soft, fluffy rabbit down there that will give us some gut.
Jesus, it's cold.
Any rabbit corpses? Living rabbits. Not seeing any dead rabbits. It's too bad. Alright. Go ahead. It's only two down arrows actually. Okay. And spend another long, lonely night inside the camp office, not being able to sleep. Alright, we made it. How many more hours we got on this affliction? 12 hours. 12 bleeding hours.
I'm getting weak.
See, we just need to warm up and then maybe even peep out. We do have plenty of wood here, but not plenty. Only 3 wood. Yikes. Anything else to bust up in here? Might be something upstairs. But there isn't. We've already busted it all up. Cool. Well, gotta warm up. Got 10. Oh, we got plenty of that. Only 3 matches, though. Only 3 matches. Sucks. It sucks that we can't bust that chair up. I mean, seriously. Scoriously. 1 hour daily left. And 12 hours to not sleep indoors for 12 hours. Oof. It's rough. There's like literally no other way to do this then. Except like legitimately wait it out.
Can't feel my hands.
Yeah. Not really much choice. We're gonna literally have to wait it out moment by moment. So maybe this would be a good time to get into something different. So we gotta be ready to exit the door in the morn. It's day 13. About to start having issues with hunger. Wish we had a knife to sharpen or something. It's all this extra stuff, no need. Get real. See, those don't have to. There's literally going to be no other way to kill time. Nothing we can make. No busy work to be done. Less than 1 hour daylight left. You can get some sticks. Pick up sticks.
Say I hate being cold. Because I really do. Man, all I can think about is food.
Might starve.
God, never cold.
Head back. And here we are again. Less than 1 hour of daylight left. We're gonna get super tired. Dang. Alright. So here we are. Okay, here's the deal. We're not gonna die of cold. We are gonna be super exhausted. We're gonna start losing health from our hunger. And there's no way for us to pass the time while we're in this state. We could pass time outside, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think they should let you pass the time. Anyway, as the time does pass, we could maybe discuss some theories, as someone requested in the comments, and I appreciate that. I always love to see comments about you know, the theories of the game, gameplay, things like that. I'm always looking to learn new and interesting things about the game and improve my play. So please do comment below. But someone mentioned, you know, what is going on in the world of The Long Dark? Why is the world like this? And I guess now is as good a time as any to go over some possible theories. So, in the intro, they do mention that there's been a geomagnetic storm, and it has caused magnetic things to get messed up. So there are several reasons why there could be a geomagnetic event that really messes things up. Basically, it could be just from the sun. So it could be something like a special type of solar storm that's really, really strong and bombards our atmosphere, and it would cause auroras. And we know that's something that is coming into the game in the future, both visually, but I think it's going to have gameplay. So I think maybe when the aurora's out, you'll be taking radiation or something like that. So obviously something's going on with the sun, and this could be something that just naturally is occurring on the sun. That is one possible theory. The sun does weird things and goes through cycles. So it is possible that maybe the sun's going through a period of really intense storms, and that is causing this geomagnetic disturbance, and that is why we're kind of in the world that we're in here. Because one thing you'd want in this game is like a compass. You'd be like, oh man, I want a compass. It would make so much sense. But I think it's going to be part of the reason why, because, you know, it's this geomagnetic incident or whatever has occurred, and that's why compasses wouldn't work anyway. You should be able to still sort of tell what north, south, east, and west are based on the sun, but this game really does hide the sun most of the time. It is kind of hard to tell if it's what's east and west. And consistently, it's easy to tell at sunrise and sunset. Other than that, it can be a bit difficult. So obviously something has happened in the game to cause this geomagnetic thing. And it could just be part of the sun's natural cycle, and it is a period of high activity on the sun that's causing it. Another reason why this could possibly be happening is something has entered our solar system, something like a comet, a large meteor, is passing between the Earth and the Sun, and that is causing the solar activity due to the additional gravitational pulls, and it is also affecting the orbit of Earth because it's passing close, and this is some sort of massive object passing through. It's just sort of a visitor from outside the solar system, not a organic alien visitor, but a some sort of large space object kind of visitor, and that could both cause the aurora and the issues with the sun, as well as cause temperatures to become colder in certain places on Earth. And the reason that would be is because it has caused the Earth to tilt further in one direction or another. And that is a real thing. Over time, the Earth is actually tilting a little bit more, and the poles are moving. Honestly, it like moves a couple inches a year, I think, so it's gradually moving over time. The North and South poles are not in the same exact place every year. They're moving in a certain direction, and there's evidence that in the past the poles have actually shifted, quite possibly. So there may have been more dramatic shifts of the poles at times in the past, and that could have been caused things like ice ages. So just imagine if you live in some place that's pretty far north, but not like crazy far north. So let's say, just imagine you lived in Scotland, or you lived in upstate New York in the US, or Seattle, Washington in the US. Where else would be a similar latitude? Someplace in northern Japan, or South Korea. Imagine you lived in one of those places. Then all of a sudden, you are shifted like hundreds of miles closer to the pole. So you've gone from being a place that gets really cold in the winter, but it also gets warm in the summer, and has 4 kind of pretty standard seasons, and you are not an overall snowy, cold, icebound place. You experience that in the winter. Now imagine all of a sudden you are like in the Arctic Circle. Seattle, Washington is now in the Arctic Circle. So if the poles have shifted and Earth's orbit or wobble has changed by a few degrees or something like that, all of a sudden places that once were much more temperate.
This cold
Are
is making my
now,
head feel thick.
Basically Arctic regions. So this area was cold already. Maybe what's going on is it's extra cold now because the poles have shifted dramatically. So, you know, maybe that happened because an object is passed inside the Earth's orbit. Also, perhaps a thing could be Planet X. The theoretical, like, astrophysicists are postulating that the math shows that most likely there should be another planet in our solar system. And the way our planets move and wobble shows that there may be another planet out there, but this planet only comes around like every 30 or 40,000 years. It's in a really weird long orbit, and so we can't really observe it because it goes so far out and then swings back in, and over these long periods of time that, you know, it's not even accurately recorded in written history. Our written history as a human race only goes back like 7,000-8,000 years, something like that, the earliest written records. So if this 10th planet came like 40,000 years ago, 30,000 years ago, when there were humans, but a very different sort of style of human, you know, so it is possible that something like this could exist, and theoretically and mathematically, they kind of show that it is possible that there should be this other planet in our solar system. So something like that could come and throw everything amok. It could cause crazy solar storms. Imagine something like that comes between Earth and Mars, or between Earth and Venus, from nowhere, and it's this huge, massive planet. There's a movie, Melancholia, really weird, depressing movie. Don't go see it if don't see it unless you want to be really depressed. So this movie, Melancholia, is about this giant planet that comes out of nowhere and is going to crash into Earth, much bigger than Earth. So something like that, not crashing into Earth, but passing into the solar system, could be causing these issues that we're seeing in the long dark. And then I guess finally, what we've got going on is, what other evidence do we have in the game as to what might be going on? Well, we see people out there dead. We see people out there dead in the game, and it looks like something happened very suddenly. From what little we know about story mode, this is kind of like a cataclysm that causes one of the main characters' planes to go down in northern Canada. So this has happened suddenly. People have gotten caught outside, and like have died outside, apparently from exposure. We don't see any people in the survival part of the game. We just see corpses. So it seems like people died very quickly outside, and recently too. The fact that there's like cooked food, that like this game has such an attention to detail. I don't think they would have like cooked food in the stove, you know, if it wasn't meant to sort of indicate that whatever happened really quick and very dramatically. And so that's kind of maybe what's going on in the world of the Long Dark, is that this event has happened that has caused the poles to shift, cause crazy magnetic disturbances and storms. So obviously the sun's probably undergoing a period of intense and unusual activity. And then this may have been caused by a variety of things. It could just be natural cycles. It could be an object from outside the solar system passing close to Earth, like a meteor or a comet of considerable size. Or it could be the elusive theoretical planet X that has a very long orbit and comes and messes with our solar system once in a very long time. So maybe that's what's happening. Now, regarding Planet X, the Sumerians definitely identified it. They named it. It was called Tiamat. It's also been called Nibiru. And like ancient cultures knew about it, and they wrote about it like it was a real thing. When they talked about what they knew of the solar system, surprisingly advanced things from these very early cultures. So anyway, the idea is that with its long orbit, what happens is every time it comes back into our solar system, it comes near Earth, and it really screws us over. It causes great cataclysms, like the Great Flood of the Bible and various other religious texts. So the idea is that the Great Flood in the Bible and these other religious texts was a real thing, and there were advanced societies on Earth, and these advanced societies on Earth got almost entirely or entirely destroyed by this great cataclysm. And this happens over and over again on Earth. Society advances itself, and this planet comes around and screws everything up, and then basically we have to start over. And the cataclysm is so great and just wipes things out so badly that, you know, there is no way for even written records or any type of knowledge about the era before sort of passing on. So this may have happened on Earth for, you know, a very long time, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years. You know, quote unquote modern humans, the type of Homo sapiens that we are, have been around for hundreds of thousands of years. It is possible that in the past they've reached high cultures and have been quite advanced, and then something bad has happened and that has knocked them back down to where they kind of have to start over. And that's why our history only goes back, you know, 7,000-8,000 years of what we know. All of a sudden, 8,000 years ago, cultures appeared with writing for the first time. Before that, there's absolutely nothing. We know absolutely nothing. We just have these 8,000-year-old cultures all of a sudden showing up and starting to write. And they did have stories, and they did say, hey, there's a big flood that wiped everything out, and there were super advanced civilizations before the Great Flood that got destroyed by this cataclysm. So maybe that's what's going on in the Long Dark. There is this kind of, not in no way supernatural, but otherwise, you know, a super heavy cataclysm that's occurring. Anyway, I would be interested to know what other people's theories are. I mean, do you think it's one of the things that I've mentioned, or do you have an idea of your own? Please go ahead and comment below. I'd really love to hear people's theories. I'll go ahead and sort of pin them and, you know, just just let me know if you agree with what I'm thinking, if it's something completely different, am I way off base? It is kind of an interesting question, and I do think the story mode of the game will probably explain most, if not all of it, so we will have to wait for that, and I have no idea when it is. We're also supposed to be getting an update in December, so we're supposed to get a December update which will have new stuff in it. I think it's the new clothing system, and I don't know what else. Wow, it's dark. It's only 2 down arrows, though. Yeah, we just kind of keep ducking out. Break up the time. This is gonna be tough. Guess we could warm up and... Okay, we're gonna go in. We'll see if we can get to max warmth. And then see if we can sleep outside for 1 hour just to save the game. How many hours left? 6 hours. So there's 6 or 7 hours of darkness left, which is not good. Not good. I don't think we want to run out to a hut. I think time passes normally when you're in the menus. Really do. Need to get some sleep on though. Well, this could be a mistake, but this episode's running super late. Yeah, this is probably not very good. All right. Did we survive? Technically, yes. Alright, that's going to be where we're going to have to end this episode. Do join me next time and see if we survive. It's touch and go. This is a dicey affair. I am not sure. We might be starting anew. Anyway, that is going to be all for now. Please drop a like and subscribe and join me next time. Spinning Mantis out. Namaste.